What's up, guys? I'm just having a coffee and I thought I would make a video because I want to apologize for not making a video for a while. Things have been a little bit crazy, and I'm also, because of that, I've decided to, you know, state some reasons why or take it as a learning experience. So, the topic of the video is it's just going to be a talk. If you want to see some code, maybe go watch something else. But I will make a coding video soon. I have a few ideas, like I said. But the topic of the video is to discuss what does it take to be productive as a part-time developer. So part-time web development probably means that you have some other source of responsibility, or there are other priorities in your life that you need to consider. In my case, I'm an honors student in accounting, so it's quite a big demand to manage university life and software development life. So I've come up with some models that I tend to stick to try and improve my productivity as a part-time web developer, because in the end I really do have passion for development and coding, but it's also quite demanding, so you really need to find balance. So there's a few things that I do to do this. Number one is I block out my day, and what I mean by that is, instead of thinking of things to do as a task list, I will think of it as blocks of time. I'm lucky to only have university stuff half of the day, so I can go to university early and finish before lunchtime sometimes. And this is a perfect time for me to say that, okay, I'm going to university now from this time to that time, and I'm going to do my research, I'm going to study whatever, everything in that block of time. But once that's done, I take off my university cap and I go home and eat, and then I put on my web developer cap. So in that block of time where I have my web developer cap on, that's all I do. I sit in front of the computer, and if I do have a task list, then I'll go through that on the web development thing. But the big focus is blocking out specific times. The second thing I do is that these blocks of time need to be location specific. I need to go to the place where this needs to happen. So I can't sit in front of my computer and code and then decide, okay, I'm going to switch off now and then start studying, because it's the same place, it's the same feel, it's the same mindset, it's very environmentally, the same. So I don't feel like I'm changing, so I'm very prone to procrastinate. So I need to go to a new location every time I change whatever block I'm busy with. Tip number 3 is don't take on too many clients. I made this mistake. Actually, we all make the mistake of trying to take on too much. And what I found is that if you have so many clients that you won't be able to spend at least an hour of coding time per client in your code block per day, then it's not worth it. Because in the end of the week, that's if you work 7 days a week. I try to take one day off, but it's very difficult with the demands. So in the end of the week, I have like 3 to 4 hours available, but I usually take half an hour to 45 minutes to clean my workspace as well and prepare for the next day. But if I say have 1 hour a day per client, that's 7 hours per week per client, and that's not a lot of hours, and the productivity you need in that 1 hour is quite demanding. But with that said, it's also very prudent, because you really focus on the things that are important. If you need to develop a interface or some kind of menu system or something, and you have 1 hour to work on it a day, you're going to really focus on the things that are important. You will tend to take shortcuts and stuff, but that is something you have to sort out for yourself and think about the architecture of the way you write code. But if you only have an hour to focus on one thing, you're really gonna do the stuff that is important, and you force yourself to do it well, because you don't have much time to fix whatever you broke. So I really believe it actually improves productivity to have a focused block of hour instead of having many hours to scroll through documentation and try and find new implementations of things, and instead of just doing what you know. Obviously have some documentation available if you haven't worked with frameworks and stuff a lot, but instead of just looking for new or reinventing the wheel, you just go as a developer, and that's what the industry kind of wants now. The next thing that I do is kind of takes it all together, is that I prioritize by time of year or month or week or whatever. So what I mean by that is, if I'm at university, let me just take a sip of coffee quickly. Gotta love that Java script. That's bad. Okay, so if I'm at university and I have deadlines that are due very soon, or I have big tests coming up, stuff like that, my block would tend to be in the morning. The first thing I do, I need to do that. That's when I have the most energy, most focused. So coding would come second. But if it's a time where it's really close to product release, or we are doing reviews in the code that we wrote or something like that, then, and university is not too strenuous at that time, then I would code early in the mornings before university first, and sort of use that mental energy to write a lot of code or do the reviews or whatever. So at university, my performance will probably be a little bit lower academically, but the code has priority at that time. And the next tip that I also want to discuss is exercise, sleep, and water. So in times when there's a lot of work and stuff, I tend to not exercise and sleep well and drink a lot of water, because I'm trying to do everything and as much as possible. So exercise, to me, I've been doing it for 7 years, and it's like I always have this thing in my mind, I can just go back to it when I'm done with all my work. But it's always a bad decision, because during work times, that stress build-up that you get it's the perfect time to exercise, because you increase your capability to handle stress so much if you go to the gym, lift some weights, do some cardio, whatever, because you sort of have that outlet. And I think it's really important to do that. When it comes to sleep, it's very easy in high stress times to go to bed late, work late, or work a little bit later in the day, and then decide to binge Netflix because you know you deserve it because you've worked hard. But then you wake up at 6 again, or 5 at some mornings, and decide to work again. And this cycle can be very damaging, and stress can build up really quick, and you can overwork yourself. So sleep and training is 2 very important factors. And then water, obviously this isn't a nutritional video, but water is really important. I'm just gonna say that, at least drink your minimum requirements per day. So when it comes to techniques in working, Pomodoro techniques, stuff like that, I'm not going to discuss that. This isn't like a specifics video. This is more a general productivity video, and I made it because it's sort of the reason I'm giving myself to why I'm not so focused on YouTube videos at the moment, because it's not high on my priority list. My main source of income is web development. My future depends on my academic degree. I'm trying to get into finance programming, so I need my honors in accounting to leverage me alongside my self-taught web development to maybe get into a company that does this. So that's like the 5-year goal. The YouTube thing is a passion. It's sort of a thing. I have fitness channels and stuff that I've done when I was younger. I started YouTube when I was really young. This web development thing is not like my first channel. It's just because every time I get a new passion, I make videos about it, just documented throughout my life. But web development has stuck, and I've found that I'm a very quick learner. I got into making money as a web developer pretty quickly because of the speed that I learn and my adaptability to teams and stuff. But yeah, sorry that I digress. I mean, the YouTube videos are just there to you sort of like that fun aspect of your life, like I'm making videos and it's more fun and not work. If I was making videos full time for money and income, I would really focus on that. But it's not feasible for me at this moment, and I really want to make the videos people comment and ask about and stuff, and I really think about it a lot. But as soon as it gets to planning the project, you know, you first kind of have to write the code so that you don't stumble a lot, and then thinking about what you're going to say throughout the code, what do you want to focus on in the videos and stuff. That takes like a day or two of planning. The video recording takes a few hours, the editing takes the rest of the day, and at this moment it's quite difficult to manage that. But that doesn't matter, I'll still make some videos, just not as frequently. And I kind of like these talks as well. I'm gonna call it code and coffee probably. But yeah, if you guys don't like it, that's chilled. If you do like it, let me know. I just thought I would give you guys some context. And thanks for watching the videos and all the comments. I've been seeing them, and you know, I'm watching the videos go up. So it's quite nice to see that, and I really appreciate it. So I'll see you guys in the next video.